finally got an interview for the dream job. And after working with him, I got it, and it was simple and it was easy.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the journey.
Has it helped? Yes, it absolutely has. It's definitely helped in knowing the market a lot better and knowing how to how to put myself out there. Like, I would never ever have touched my LinkedIn ever. I didn't see LinkedIn as a valuable resource at all. Yes. So in saying that, it already has proven to be.
It's really what valuable. I say. I think you guys are great and change people's lives, and it makes a lot of difference.
You deliver at a very high level.
It was really enjoyable. You learn a lot. It was really easy going step by step.
You did? Questions before Wendy do. So that was, I think session 5, the interview session, if you ask me, was my favorite out of all the 6 sessions.
So it's not only helped me in my personal branding, but it's helped me now on the business side, where I feel very, very capable to go into,
Boom, shake the room. Happy Tuesday. So today I am really excited. So I'm glad that I'm going to have about 20-25 minutes with this next rock star. So do you know what? I'm going to play the intro music and we are going to get on with it. Hey, super legends, superheroes, and superstars. My name is Dre, and welcome to another episode of Hot Hire Coaches on Fire. We are absolutely going to tear it and rip it up today. And you guys know the score. So if you're watching live, there's about a 20-second delay. If you're watching the replay, there's a... Do you know what? I realized that when I started this, I had the wrong banner on. I had the banner that I've got on for my client. So I apologize for that. And now I've just deleted it. All right. Here we go. All right, so sorry about that. Oh, okay, awkward. All right, so if you are watching live, there's about a 20-second delay. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. This will help me with the stats and the analytics at the back end. So my next guest, Haran Singham. So we've been connected for a couple of years, and this guy is, man, I was just saying before, he's got like a Hollywood-like smile. So just really... I hope he doesn't embarrass me because he is just too good looking, and I love his sense of humor as well, and also the work that he does with his clients. And he's got a really interesting story, really interesting journey. So without any further ado, let's get this good looking guy out here. All right, so massive warm welcome to Haran Singham. How are you, legend?
Hello everyone. Hi, Gray.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. And I'm just really excited to hear your story. So do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity as well and interviewing me. And what can I tell you about me? I think, well, when I first started, well, I came to Australia in '96 as a refugee. And like everyone else, you know, from my culture, you know, you have to be a doctor or an engineer, otherwise you're a failure. So that's how I was brought up. So I was so focused on my education. And not me, but my parents were pushing me to get educations, you know. So that was very important to my family. So I always focus on my education as well. So I keep my parents happy. So, but my English wasn't good when I first came to Australia. So I thought about whether to do engineering or accounting or something where you don't have to really worry too much about English. Then I actually got into business, and I started studying business, and I started working in as an assistant accountant as well at one point. But I hated it. I just hated sitting in front of the computer doing accounts. Like first, few months it was exciting because you are learning about everything. But after you learn everything, it's like you're doing the same thing again and again every day, pretty much, and it's very repetitive as well. So I was so bored, man. So that I started looking for something else. But during that time, I was also going through depression. Some of you may have heard about soldiers coming back from war, and then they're becoming so traumatized where they're going through PTSD or some sort of trauma, and where they want to kill themselves, they cut themselves and things like that. Where I was going through that, actually, where all I wanted to do around that time was I just wanted to kill myself. So I was hurting myself, burning myself. I want to kill myself. And also around that time, a relationship didn't go well. So I just felt like, what's the point of living? Luckily, I had really good friends at that time. They helped me come out of that in a way. And then they kind of forced me to go and see a doctor. It never really helped me because I was seeing a psychiatrist, psychologist, and a doctor. And it gave me some sort of comfort in a way, but it never really helped me. And I was so desperately looking for help. And at one point, I actually found a coach. And after seeing the coach, all my depression and the trauma that I went through, everything, I remember what happened in my life and what sort of trauma that I went through. But what happened was just after that, after the coaching, that trauma, the emotional charge behind all that just totally disappeared. So what that meant for me was that I no longer have to feel like I have to kill myself. I no longer have to feel like I have to cut myself. And there's a lot of freedom in my life. I felt like I can fly, That's how I felt. And that's when I actually decided that I don't want to continue with what I was doing, the accounting, and slowly transitioned into becoming a counselor, and also did coaching as well while I was studying counseling as well. So here I am now. I had a chance to meet you at the Tony Robbins events. I don't know if you remember, we actually bumped into each other's at the Tony Robbins, and you said hello.
Yeah.
Actually, we just walked in front of each other, and then we just shook hand, and then we just, I think we added each other's on Facebook after that, and then we also, realized that we both of us are coaches, and then we are also part of the same mastermind now. So yeah,
it's crazy. It's man, what a journey and what a story that you've been on. And do you know what's really interesting? So I'm hearing lots of I guess similar stories like in the last few weeks where especially guests that have come on going through the same thing, getting to a real sort of low point and like wanting to end their lives. And that's even like happened like with me like a couple of times during my life as well. So that's really interesting, and thank you for sharing. But I want to talk about you training to become a monk. Like how, where, what?
Yeah. That's a quite interesting story. I actually got stuck in a cult as well because of that. While I was going through all this journey, as a child growing up, I got deep into yoga, meditation, and all those kind of stuff. And then in my teenage years, I kind of stopped doing it. And then, after I came out of my depression and all that, I kind of started reintroduced meditation in my life. And that led me into, you probably know Master Ko, right? So I actually got exposed to his teachers and their work and what they were doing. So I got deeply involved with their meditation and what they were doing. And I started really what's the word? It's not enjoying. I enjoyed it as well, but it just transformed me as a person as well. Like where from deep within, I started experiencing that inner peace and happiness and joy, and that kind of led me into asking, "Who am I? Why am I here? What am I doing in this world?" Those kind of deep, meaningful questions I started asking myself. So that kind of led me into exploring more about spirituality. So I started going to different spiritual schools and spiritual teachers, and I also studied with Sadhguru as well. Some of you may know him. So I was with them for 5-6 years as well, and then I actually stayed at Sadhguru's place about 7 months, and like gone through a lot of different trainings and things like that, staying there. And then I also wanted to become a monk there. But the thing was, they will test you to see if you're really serious about this journey. And in our culture, if you want to become a monk, what that also means is not like the Christian monks or anything like that. It's a little bit different, where you have to cut ties with your family and friends, and then there's a lot of things involved. So they were testing me a lot, where I wasn't really ready for it, because my mom also knows if I become that, then I'm not going to have that contact with my family or friends. So she would call me every day crying and all that. It was very difficult for me. I wasn't ready. That's when I actually realized I wasn't ready. But then I kept on coming back to Australia and kept on going back, because I had this deep yearning to learn more about me as a, not as a person, but as a soul, as a spirit. Who am I and what am I doing and all that? So then I started going to different schools as well, learning more about spirituality. At one point, I got stuck in a cult. I didn't know. I really trusted them in the beginning. After 2-3 months, I started really seeing who they were, or who they are. And then I wanted to come out of it, but I couldn't get out of it for a few months. And then I managed to leave the place, because you also have to renew your visa as well. You can get 6 months visa to India at that time. I think, I can't remember now. It was like 6 years ago. And then I left the place, and after when I left the place, I was half of this size, and I was pretty much treated like a slave there, and doing all the work and a lot of other stuff as well. And then after coming back, I started really keeping myself away from even doing all these spiritual practices, because I stopped trusting my own decisions, and I went through so much trauma there as well. And then physically, I also became so ill. So I couldn't even do one push-up. I'm a very fit and flexible person. And at the same time, after I came back from that particular cult, I couldn't even do one push-up, because my joints were hurting. I couldn't lift myself up. I was easily getting tired, and I was pretty much sick. So after that, I started doing that master course work on myself. I started slowly getting into meditation as well, because I started seeing doctors and getting all the tests and all that. They were telling me, this is what's wrong with you, but I was still struggling so much. So I started applying all other things that I learned, then slowly just came out of it. And after that, I just started everything again. I just started self-inquiry and focusing on that, and also full-time coaching. That's what I want to do anyway. Even wanting to become a monk, that's the whole purpose. I wanted to serve humanity. I wanted to help people with the tools that I learned. And what I realized was that I don't have to become a monk to really serve people. I can be here now serving more people than ever before. So that's my journey. I'm still I wouldn't call myself a monk now, but the thing is that I'm living in seclusion, where I often I love to stay by myself. I have a lot of really close friends and family members and all that, and I'm still in touch with everyone. But at the same time, I focus on helping people, serving humanity, and that's my focus.
I love that. Yeah, thank you for sharing. So my next question is, so with your clients, what would be, some of those things that keep them up at night? Some of those like pain points, problems, frustrations. What do you see like common themes with the clients that you work with?
Absolutely. The interesting thing is that most people would say, I am different from everyone. If you look at people from outside, we are all different. You look different, I look different, but internally, how we experience trauma, and how those trauma is actually getting programmed within, and how it's affecting us is very similar for most people. So people might lose sleeps, people might feel suicidal, people might feel like they have to cut themselves, and things like that happens. So these are the common themes where they go through a lot of pain. They can't even eat. They may lose weight. They may find it difficult to sleep and even connect with people. Some people don't want to really connect with anyone. They just want to stay home because of depression or because of the trauma as well. So these are the common themes that I see, because I believe, because of the spiritual experiences that I had as well, we are all one. We are all one and the same. But on the outside, we look different. But we are all one and the same. And the internal chemistry and how everything works within us is the same as well. So that's why the brain, how it really affects people and everything is very similar as well.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. So I was thinking of like some more questions as you're talking. All right. So what's the best way to get hold of you? And do you have, like programs? So if someone's watching and they're thinking, I love Haran with his Hollywood smile. How can I get to work with him? And what sort of programs do you offer?
Yes. So I have a Facebook group, a free Facebook group called the Happiness Mission, where you get a lot of free contents. I talk about mindset. I also talk about spirituality. So when I talk about mindset, it could be about trauma, how to, giving a few different tips, how to sleep better or how to look after yourself, how to manage your trauma response and depression and things like that. So those are the things that I actually share. And also, I also talk about spirituality. So what that means is spiritually how to look after yourself. So even if that's important to you, how to give tips about how to meditate, or I'll give you tips about how to really get in touch with yourself, looking inwards and going deep within you. And I talk about a lot of different things. Some people may hear about the energy centers and things like that, where Dr. Joe Dispenza, all of them talk about as well, and mind and brain, or brain and heart coherence, and how to get aligned to your authentic self. And I talk about all those kind of things. Yeah. So you can join that Facebook group, the Happiness Mission, and you'll get access to all that information. And then my Instagram account is instagram.com/Haran my name on the screen. So Haran, and then Singham is Singham. That's me. And you can get in touch with me through any social media. Yeah.
All right, brilliant. So if there's like someone watching out there at the moment, or if they're listening like on Spotify and Apple, and they've been like either cutting themselves, or they've been thinking that I just can't go on with life anymore, do you have any advice to people that might be listening or watching?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. When people are going through depression or experiencing trauma, it's so real. Yeah. The pain that you go through is real. And people might feel like they want to kill themselves. And when I was going through it, I thought that's life. Yeah, I can't do anything. I have to live with that. And I didn't even know that people can help me with that. And the thing is that because I believe that that's part of life, I don't think it can be changed. I have to live with that pain forever. That's how I thought. And also, some of the new science now talk about how depression is not a disease, it's not an illness. The neuroscientists like Dr. Caroline Leaf talks about that. But the thing is, the studies came from up until 90s, said that depression is an illness, chemical imbalance, you have to take medication and things like that. And most people buy into that as well. But the most important thing is to realize that you can get help. If you are struggling, if the and the thing is that a lot of people go through depression, they don't even know that they have depression or even trauma reaction where they might feel suicidal and they might cut themselves and things like that happen in their life, but then they don't think it's a problem. But if you are unhappy with your life, reach out to someone who can really help you. Even sending me a message or someone you trust and talk about this. That's the most important thing, where you don't have to feel alone. You don't have to seclude yourself and stay in your room. And there were times I didn't want to get out of bed. All I want to do is just lie down, sleep forever, kind of thing. I don't want to face the world. But if you're feeling like that, reach out to someone who can really help you, and you don't have to struggle. You can change your reality, because where you are in life doesn't have to be your final destination.
Mic drop. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's gold. All right, very last question, and I think you know what I'm going to say. So I'm absolutely obsessed with dad jokes.
Yes.
So do you have a dad joke, a quote, something motivational, inspirational, something empowering, something of value that you'd like to leave us with?
Yeah. So, what do you call a lazy doctor?
Oh man, I do not know. What do you call a lazy doctor?
Dr. Doolittle.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I love it. I have not heard that before, so thank you.
All
right, Haran, the main man, bro. Just want to say thank you so much for coming on. I've heard your story, like a couple of times before. Hearing it again, it's just real. It's just something that a lot of people go through, and I just want to say thank you to you for actually being here today. So I don't just mean just on the show, but actually in the world today, in the universe, to be able to share your message, to be able to help people, to be able to impact. You are one of the nicest, coolest guys as well, and you just got a good, genuine, pure heart, and you go above and beyond for everyone. And I love that we are part of the same community as well. So I want to say I commend you. I thank you. You're absolutely, you know how much I love you, bro. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and sharing today.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, brother. And same goes to you as well. We connected, and then I've seen how much you're doing and how much how you're transforming people's life as well. And it's just amazing seeing you grow as well. And keep doing what you're doing, and you're helping so many people by doing this as well. Awesome, man. Keep going.
Appreciate you, bro.